time to talk about my quilt, which I guess is technically a sleeping bag. This is the UGQ Hybrid Outlaw. It is a sleeping bag that can be unfolded to work as a quilt. So this is more like a hoodless sleeping bag right now. But then it also has the quilt attachments inside. One of the reasons I went with this instead of a quilt or just a sleeping bag is because I was afraid that I would be too cold if it was just the quilt. And this way I can completely wrap it around myself and I don't have to worry about that. And when I was looking at gear, I kind of narrowed it down to two instead of having like all the different cottagecore companies that make quilts. So I was looking between Enlightened Equipment and UGQ. And from my research, it seemed like UGQ was warmer and they were also a little cheaper than Enlightened Equipment. So that's why I went with this one. The specific specs of this are that it is an 800 fill. I decided, can you not? Hey, stop that. I did decide to go with feathers instead of a synthetic material for a couple reasons. Number one being that down is a natural material, unlike synthetic. Another reason I chose it is because of the responsible down standard. In theory, it keeps the animals that are used for feathers in good condition up until they are killed to use for their meat, and then their feathers are collected. I haven't been able to find anything that says that it doesn't work, but I believe it's kind of a newish initiative. And I do want to encourage companies to use standards like this when they are dealing with animals. Another reason I went with feathers instead of synthetic is that it packs down smaller and it is lighter. When you're hiking any long distance trail, weight is going to be a big factor. The more weight you have on your back, the more weight you have on your knees, obviously, and if you have too much weight, it can really mess your joints up. So that is why I went with the down instead of synthetic, like I stated in one of my earlier videos. This is also a 10-degree quilt. I kind of went back and forth between the 0 and the 10 because I wanted to be warm enough, but from what I've researched, UGQ is a comfort rating, not a survival rating, so it would be good. It should be good down below 10 degrees, or at least that's the theory. The width is 60 inches and the length is 72 inches. Originally when I ordered, they had all of their measurements in inches. Now I believe they have like short, long, regular, that kind of measurements. So I'm not sure which that translates into. I did not get any overstuff on my quilt. Their quilts are already a little overstuffed and I didn't want to make it too expensive because it is already pretty expensive. The inner material is M10T Royal Purple and the outside is MRS20 Royal Blue. So you can see these colors. I think these are really pretty colors and I'm glad that they look so nice together. Another option for this quilt was to get draft colors on both the neck and the foot box. I decided to just get it on the neckline here. What most people will do is, because there's a small hole here, they'll just shove a sock or something in it and that will keep it from being too cold. For taper style, I decided to go with no taper, so it would be a straight line. Actually, let me unravel this, and then we can look at it. What's wrong? I don't know how well you can see that, but with a taper it would usually come down kind of like that instead of being straight up and down like it is. For the pad attachments, I got the Deluxe straps. Those are the ones, where are the pieces? Which are these ones. Those are the ones that are kind of recommended for people who have not used a quilt before. And it comes with one and I got an additional one. There are 3 of these clips along the quilt. So with the 2 straps I have, I would probably use the outermost ones. And then the lead time for this was supposed to be 6 or 7 weeks. I believe it was about 5 weeks, but I'll put the date somewhere over here because it actually arrived way faster than I thought it would. After it was in production and then finally finished, it took 2 days to ship to my house, which was really impressive. I thought I would have to wait at least another week for it to arrive. This is the quilt that I hope to be using on the trail. Oh, this even says 10 degree on it. That's nice in case I forget. You can see with this quilt they have the horizontal, then it changes to a vertical. That is my quilt. I'm really excited to try it, but as it's the middle of August, I probably won't be able to do that anytime soon. I'm hoping in September it will be cool enough to finally use this and I'll get to actually test it out. But until then, I'll see you next week.